Oh, sorry I'm late. We had a special guest arrive that was going to arrive on our show, but apparently he's not coming. But he did send a special message. Oh. I'm going to send that to you now, Acid.
Oh, there we go. Oh, shut up. Wait, hold up. Play.
LOVIN and Acid. Sorry, I'm late. I love you guys and thank you for the love and support. I truly appreciate. You know, I've seen a lot of messages and all that. You guys are wonderful and thank you for the love and support.
Get
and
into
God
it.
bless you. Cheers and enjoy your day. Stay blessed.
So are you gonna send him a message back? What the fuck is going on? Where is he? Why did the police not find him? But you found? Wait, why is Angela not able to find him? But he's sending you messages? That's crazy. Well, thank you for that.
Right, like Kiki.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm Acid Betty, and this is my sister Vi.
Yes, hi, Sherlock Holmes. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. We're the real life brother and sister.
Wow.
And I'm Violet. And we are real life brother and sister, totally obsessed with reality TV. Welcome to our season 2. This is our second.
Yay!
We made it.
We made it to season 2, fully funded.
Look at that. Thank you to our donors, V and Acid.
I would like to thank the production team, us.
I would like to thank myself and my brother. And my brother
the people
and myself.
who showed up, us,
and our
for
dogs
making it this far,
for being quiet. Thank you very much.
Right. For right now. Damn, sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
No, so what's going on? What's on your feed, Acid? Anything interesting?
Oh my God. Anything exciting? No. Well, RuPaul's Drag Race has ended and Nymphia Wind has won.
Yes, she's in the wind, honey.
Second thought. Controversial note, controversial side. Everything felt like maybe I'm disconnected, but everything felt like doldrums.
Oh.
You know? It was very much like, and these are the top 2. Oh no. And the winner is Nymphia Wind. Yay, it was me. That's just kind of how it felt. Like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes, like, I don't know. I'm not expecting someone to cry.
Did you find yourself wondering, are they even in the same room?
Sometimes it was odd. That's all I'm gonna say.
So no one
maybe
was
I'm
emotionally invested, or you're saying you're open to the fact that you're not emotionally invested, and so that's why it's not giving you anything because you're just not in the ride anymore.
Yeah, but also like I
don't know. Don't you think it's their responsibility to get you in the ride?
Yes,
that's
and
like
I think it's
part of it.
Yeah, and I think it's not like I think you did not a bad job, but you know, like when you see a show and you're like, "What'd you think?" and they're like, "I like the costumes and scenery." That's when you know it's kind of a bad show because they didn't mention the show. So I feel like it's weird when they don't really mention. They're both great performers, the top 2. They really are. No one mentions the performances. They're just like, oh, this was the Sasha Velour moment. That's when we knew. So it's like, so that's like, that doesn't say anything to me.
I did notice that I caught wind of Nymphia Wind. And also, I mean, she's gorgeous and she's Asian and I'm obsessed with that. And what I did pick up on is the fact that they as in the world out there, pop culture seems to be hyper obsessed with the fact that she's Asian.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but even I don't know shit about her, but I could give you a few more observations than she's Asian.
Hello. I know.
So it just feels...
But that's why I mentioned it.
You did say...
I mentioned that.
I don't know what...
I mentioned that last week because it was in the air.
You said they're trying to collect all the flavors of Baskin Robbins or something. You were like, they're trying to...
It was a few weeks. Yeah, it was a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I was like, you called it. Not pretty, but you called it.
Yeah, you can... And also, I don't like the language of, oh, I think RuPaul's going to give it to this person. Or I think, you know what I mean? Because that language already says what it's saying. You know, which we're not watching a competition. Yeah. And I saw a lot of that going on. You know, like, oh, well, I think, you know, like, who do you think's going to win? And people would often be like, oh, it's a toss-up, but I think RuPaul's going to give it to.
But, you know, that also goes into how language sometimes betrays the speaker, as in that shows that people kind of know subconsciously what it really is.
Yeah.
But consciously at the forefront, they don't acknowledge that. They really feel it's a competition show, even though when they just not really thinking and it just comes out their mouth, they know it's Mama Ru.
Yeah.
And does she like you?
I have this feeling, especially with that universe, especially because I'm in it, that they have so many different facilities, like the live show and future shows they have in mind, that I feel like they're always casting that. So I hate to say that. So it's like, yes, people want to win, but sometimes they maybe don't want you to win because they want you for this show or the live show or that, or, and yeah, that's what I think. That's my personal opinion.
No, but that
Say
makes
what it
sense.
is,
I mean,
what it is.
that's what Disney's turned into. That's what a lot of the bigger even Marvel. You have a lot of these big franchises, and I mean, I don't mean to put RuPaul in that world. However,
It's a franchise.
right? It is a franchise in itself, and it does have merchandise. That's basically to me what makes a franchise. You have many sequels, many spin-offs, and merchandise related. And so, at a certain point, you get big enough so that you start thinking 3-4 steps down the line. You know, you have a convention coming. You know, you have fans. Well, maybe we could tweak this. It fits into like Disney. We can make a ride. Or we can make a doll. Or we can make a, you know what I mean?
So anyway, that was the small thing on my list.
Oh,
and then
what's
the
the
other
thing?
random thing was a question.
Oh.
Is Love in Translation still going?
Oh, shit. So I just watched the finale this morning.
Okay, it's ended. I was so curious because I was like, sometimes it would come on, I'm like, oh my God, it's still going. So that was it. That wasn't even like,
wasn't on
I
my
watched
list.
it. It was like, it's on my reel. It's like, it's a question. It was like,
No, I
did it
confess
end?
that I had 2 kind of slots already filled for like next week's feed for myself because I'm so 90 Day Fiancé'd out this week for myself that I had Love in Translation because it's finished and I was going to talk about The Circle. So Love, but to answer, Love in Translation finished, I think just like last night or a couple days ago. I just watched the finale. There's no reunion. It was one of those like textual, this is what they're up to now things.
He's doing, yeah.
And it's shocking because almost all of the couples, except for the moron, are still together.
Wow.
Oh, wait, I take that
Figure
back.
out.
No, wait, that was me. That was selective memory because I laughed. I mean, the producers are making fun of them because Khalil and, the other man, the 2 beautiful men, right, that we liked, the smart ones, they were like nice about them. They were like, oh, they're still together and they've met their parents and they're, they showed all their pictures. But then it was like Trip, which is the guy that was like, see.
Yes.
And his girl... They were like, they like showed this beautiful picture of her. They were like, she broke up with him 3 weeks after not speaking, like long distance. And then it was like ... But then they got back together and now they're still together. So all 3.
Okay, are still together.
And that's like that's not just long distance. That's like countries. And one of the couples actually still uses a translation app because, why bother learning languages? Oh my God, it's frustrating to me.
Yeah, but also,
I
it
can't,
takes
I
a
can't
minute
do
to
that.
learn a language.
I can't abide that. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, so that was it.
Oh.
What's on your feed?
Well, it's more like what's on everybody's feed if you're in the 90 Day Fiancé universe, and that's Miss Debbie and Ruben the Cuban. So
I friended him so he could show up on my Instagram because I'm a new fan of Ruben. Ruben is really let the children have it.
So between
He is letting the children have it.
Okay, so between you and I, just yesterday, I was thinking I might because I was feeling very sassy off the Michael thing.
I thought when you said there's a guest, I thought it was Ruben the Cuban, but Ruben's been interacting. So Ruben's been interacting.
No.
with us, though,
Ruben is very okay. So we'll go back. Okay, so Ruben's very interactive with us. What happened is I'll just try to give a recap. Debbie kind of went after him. And when he made a plea for his friend, so get this, he's not even asking for himself. He's not trying to sell a product. He actually went on to his Instagram and made a plea and said, I have a friend that's about to lose his home, or we need to make these repairs, and he's just in trouble, and I'm trying to help him out. And I've started this GoFundMe for my friend. And Miss Debbie actually comes out and attacks him publicly and calls him a scammer, which of course turns the public against him. And then he's like this older gentleman. I mean, I don't know. You get a vibe of who he is in Miami that really was already... Oh, I forgot the first part. Oh, hello. In case you didn't know, guys, listening, it's been leaked that Debbie actually met Ruben on an online dating site and pitched to him before even meeting him. Would you like to be on this reality show with me? Because I really want to be on this show, and you can get business contacts, and I'm going to make money for my sanctuary. So she actually recruited him to be on the fucking show. And then the minute he tries to use any of his fame, which is so minor compared to hers. To help a friend, mind you, she attacks him publicly and calls him a scammer. So then all this shit starts to come out about her, about the fact that she recruited him, about, okay, one of my favorites is that many artists on Etsy make their living because they're super fans and they like to, I mean, your girl, Acid Betty, if I did a search right now for Acid Betty on Etsy, I could buy unique presents for everyone in my universe right now from all the artists that create things in honor of you.
With my face on it.
Yes, but it's unique art. There's an artist out there that does this stuff for 90 Day Fiance. She makes these little mugs. And apparently, Miss Debbie shook her down and told her, you can't use my likeness and I'm going to come after you, and told her she had to take all her products down.
Yeah, and she said, it's not me, it's the producers of the show.
But I'm going to tell the producers of the show about you. And the poor girl did a story. And the story was like, well, I've only sold like 5 of these mugs. So, Miss Debbie, if you want to contact me for your, $7?
That's funny because I actually bought a mug for my friend that was I'm American with Angela.
I hope it was for her because she's actually of that humor where it's like the funny little illustrative style.
It's illustrated.
And then has a unique perspective, right? Like she has her own sense of humor. It's not like this really common shit that she grabs onto. And I think the mug was like her and Osama, and it said, I have no butt, Osama, or something, which is actually really funny.
Yeah, and then I bought a pillow with mayonnaise Ed on there. My friend said that it was freaking him out, so he gave it away.
Oh my gosh, so wait. As long as we're talking about just social media drama, did you see that David, our wonderful deaf friend,
yeah,
went and attacked Ed?
Yeah. What's going on there? It's so RuPaul's Drag Race where it's like where these queens and these 90 Day Fiance people are like online doing all this internal fighting over things that were not totally clear.
Dude, I promise I'm not trying to play reporter. I really am not, but
it's everywhere.
Well, and also I don't understand. I mean, look, there's the disconnect between us and the world. And this is why we're called We Didn't Want to Be Here. We're sorry, we're leaving. We didn't want to be here. Because I think a lot of these bloggers and people that are doing what we do, they really are trying to be funny. They really do fancy themselves either comedians or reporters, or they think of themselves in these ways. And I really do not consider myself either. I am just trying to comment on what I see. So sometimes I'm like, how are you guys missing this? It's right fucking there. Like, this is crazy. Why are you not talking about it? You're so busy trying to make some tacky joke and insult someone that you're not noticing what's right in front of you.
Yeah, they're just trying to get attention.
But
it was like
a lot
that
of
one
them
girl that we found.
All punching down.
Of course.
Which I don't appreciate.
And it's always from the point of view of look at this loser. Like whoever they're talking about.
Yeah.
Which is usually celebrities. So it's like these people are doing better than the person who's talking. But the person who's talking, it always comes from a look at this loser. Like, oh, did you see what JoJo Siwa's doing? She's doing blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah. And what are you doing in your kitchen?
Talking about it, petting your cat, and making memes. Which, by the way,
like helping to make money off of it.
Yeah, that's great. I'm doing that because they're entertaining me and I love it. I'm a fan. I'm not in this world of, that's why some of these things I have to meme out because I'm just like, wow, no one's talking about this. Look at this shit. It's a little cuckoo to me. This is why I watch the show. It's that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's life. That's real life happening. Like, you've got this man saying that him and his girl are better than Big Ed and his girl. And then you just reminded me because he mentioned the mayo. And
mayonnaise.
He's like, and the mayo. And I was like, go, David.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's it. That's on my feed. I'm all 90 Day Fiance
all
up,
right.
like here. So we are talking about our favorite franchise, 90 Day Fiance. And we are very excited to jump into another spinoff, Love in Paradise. Season 4 just premiered. Yeah. And while we were expecting 4 new couples in 4 new locations in typical 90 Day Fiance fashion, we were really only introduced to 3 of the 4. But there still did not disappoint. It was very, very full of drama. And this season looks like it's going to be a wild ride, right?
Yes, it's going to be interesting. It's already an interesting cast. We got, I don't even remember, is it a Big Dick Kyle? And
so you started with Kyle and Annie, their sperm donor, and Annie are German in Malta.
And then we got Guy dealing with sex changes, and It's crazy. We got everything up in this one.
There's a lot happening. Yeah, and there's a lot of there's I'll admit, for me even, there's a lot of sensitive subject matter even in this first episode.
Oh, and then we have the child and the adult.
Yes. I had fun with that one, yeah. I had fun with that one. I mean, so according to my notes, we're introduced to Luke first. Speaking of sugar daddy and sugar baby.
Yeah, Madeline
And Luke. Who dresses like a Tim twin.
Totally. But I will say totally better.
He accessorizes better.
Dresses like Tim. Like they all went to like the fur store.
Yes.
But like Timothy would pick out the gaudy pink and red, and then Luke picked out the black one. That's why. So it was like black and gold. It was like, yeah. So yes, it's still obnoxious, but it's like I feel like Luke gets it. Timothy is like missing the boat on it.
No, Luke's got swag. Luke's trying very hard.
And the 19-year-old
Even though
Madeline
he's a
already
little
has gotten
pedophile.
her. Well, yeah, she's 19. She's a teenager.
Well, it's not even about the fact that she literally is a teenager. It's about like, I'm a teenager and I act like I'm 12.
She's a teenager.
Like she leans real hard into that. I'm a baby.
Yeah.
With my big stuffed animal.
And she already got her boobs done.
Yeah.
Which I thought was crazy.
It was probably like 18th birthday.
And they're so small. So it was so weird because I was thinking like, this is a lifetime. This, like the minute she said that, I was like, oh, you're going to be a lifetimer because those aren't going to be big enough for you. And 10 years from now, you're going to be like, I need tits to match my lips and all the new stuff that she's getting. She's going to get other stuff.
She's also
like,
still the size that you are when you're 19. And even someone that's naturally thin, by 25,
I'm not even a girl, and I know that.
She's going to fill out a little more. So the boobs aren't going to...
Does that mean 19?
Yeah.
You already got your boobs done? I don't understand. It was like 19. And
you're not quite done yet.
Do you even know what you look like yet? Like, it's so weird. Like, you're still possibly in your ugly phase. Like, you could still be, like, getting out of, like, anyway.
Well, let's talk about Luke. Because I do have something else to drop on you in case you didn't notice something shocking that happened on television, on live television, that's now out there forever. How they did him, episode 1. You didn't catch it.
Okay.
I'm so excited to show you.
What do you mean, show me?
I'm going to send you something else.
Okay.
It's a photo. So there's a moment that he's in the tanning bed.
Yes, I remember that.
And they blur out his ass. But they missed the reflecting mirror in the booth. And so on episode 1, it's a full frontal of Luke. The whole internet was ablaze.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's so funny.
So people are going to get fired. People are going to get sued. It's going to be really interesting. Even if he doesn't care, the absolute fuck. Like full frontal penis on TLC.
Yeah, that's funny. No, I didn't notice. My friend Dom would have seen that immediately. I didn't
notice.
I noticed that he was tanning. I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, look, he's getting spray tan. That's funny.
I just think it's funny that they literally blurred out his crack and it's like full penis right there.
And they forgot because for me, I'm a visual person, so it's like that's so funny. You would just look at this.
It's right there,
the screen.
the same.
Yeah, it's next to it. Yeah, so it's like it's only if like outside of what it is you're looking at, it's like vicinity wise of an image. It's like they're right there. So funny. That's crazy. So he's busy. He had been spending all of his money on her.
$100,000.
Yeah, and he's spent over $500K on companies that have made no money so far.
But he had great Instagram photos, so good for him for having what was it, like 3 different brands. I mean, that's why I think we're being really kind to him right now, and I'm being extra kind because of the full frontal. Because I think he's a douche.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that you spent that much money and you're like, I'm building a brand, this and that, and it's like, who are these people?
Well, I mean, not to push forward, but also when you show a clip later of how he's literally going to ask his child for a prenup when he says that he's broke. Like, who are you?
That I didn't understand that.
Like, whose child are you?
Coming soon either.
My God, someone smack him.
I didn't understand that either. But I foresee before we're done, because I have pretty much that's all my notes, is Madeline is another the Colors. We're watching they went and found another. We watched a little baby version of her.
Well,
because
I hope
the coming
so.
soon, she's like, "Where's the money? Where's the money?"
I really hope so. No, because Jasmine is emotional. Madeline is going to be more like what was her name? The one that was just
transactional.
She's going to be like the one that was on House of Villains. Annalise, and Fisa, where it's very, you knew this was the deal. It's not going to be like, oh, you broke my heart. Right. I don't think she cares about that. She's going to be like, what do you mean you don't have money?
I can't wait.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, that was really all I had to say about them. That was all. Yeah. Well, that was all the show had for us. That's
all they showed.
Yeah, it was like, here's this child and here's her pimp. Shaft. Shut your mouth.
And then they introduced us into a German woman living
With a
in
son.
Malta.
What the fuck? They left that out of the commercials.
And I say big dick because later it's in the coming soon. And a big dick sperm donor.
Well, she says not only that it's big, but she repeats and she says it's huge. And I was like, right, but he's using it to fuck other women. How do we feel about that? It's one thing to like, oh my God, that blew my mind. How did you feel about that? Because I was gagged.
I thought it was weird that, I mean, it's kind of what I thought.
But
it
you
was
have two
weird
choices.
That he was like, it's my hobby.
But that we understood because we thought, okay, psychology of like whatever you're,
no,
But no, he's just fucking
because
everybody.
He went into right, because then he went into part of my hobby is going to a girl's place and fucking them and doing it the quote unquote old fashioned way. And then he broke it down and told us that you have the girl sitting upside down like for 15 minutes with his dick in her or something, and all this. After that whole explanation, it totally made their meeting make more sense, because if you're having sex with he has 71 children with 9 on the way.
Because he
that's
already
what he
said. He
said.
broke it down, and I wrote it down.
Yeah, you have 71
He broke
children.
it down, and I wrote it down. First of all, did you catch that he said he was stopping in London not because he had a layover, but because he had an intercourse appointment on the way?
Yes.
So he says that he has 3 to 5 times a month.
Yep, 3 to 5 times a month donations, 71 children, 9
And
on
9
the way.
on the way around the world.
And he's been doing it for 10 years.
Yes. And he's only been on 2 dates because for some reason women have a problem with his lifestyle.
Yes.
Gee,
okay.
I wonder why.
Okay, fine. But how did our amazing Annie meet him?
Well, they kind of hid that lead in the advertisements too. Like it's really hard to judge when you were also
right. Like you and I are coming from this standpoint of, oh wow, she didn't know, what a surprise. No, that's how they met. She was looking for a sperm donor. So the minute they said that, I was like, I wrote in my notes, then you can't be surprised about whatever is about to happen in the future in regard to sperm donation, because that's how you met him.
And you know that he provided her with the same menu he provides everyone. So she knew the options, and she had to know that it wasn't special for her.
And she immediately is kind of like, no, you're not going to have sex with other women.
Well, I think she's confused because a lot of people make big jumps in their thinking
so
that,
funny.
oh, well, when I'm in this relationship with this person over here,
everything changes.
Yeah. And it's like, no, people don't change even for you, babe. And the older you get, the realer that is.
Well, like I was saying, not for someone like him who calls it a hobby and it's clinical to him. That's what I'm saying. Their meeting was weird, and you can see, and then his whole point system and stuff.
Okay, I was going to say, let's talk clinical point system.
Fed into how he treats
and
his relationship with humans.
Yeah, okay, so
Very
I was
weird.
confused because, okay, wait, he had the point system. But then at the same time, do you remember that moment when they're talking to the camera? They are having their little interview session, to the camera with the production, whatever. What do they call it? The confessional. And he gets all teary-eyed. I'm just saying he's a strange little man. Because
yes, he's weird.
It's clinical. You're right. He had the point system. So then I wasn't expecting then when they were reflecting on the moment of meeting that all of a sudden he was crying about it. It was like, how are you crying about something that you literally was like, hi, nice to meet you. And by the way, in 5 points, I'll kiss you.
Well, because that's what I mean, because he's playing this weird thing. And in regard to that point system, I think he just needs to shut the fuck up. Because what I see is a guy who's now discovering, oh, how am I going to deal with this? Because I'm a professional hoe, right? I fuck girls for money. So then it's like, now I have to figure out how to deal with my clinicalness. So I'm going to create a point system. Work it out. Okay. So that's going to be your point system. So shut up about it. Work it out in your head. She doesn't have to know. I mean, honestly, if that's your way because you're a psychopath, I'm just going real crazy, and your psychopathic mind needs something to create tension or whatever, fine, but don't mention it.
Well, also, if these are the strange
let that be.
idiosyncrasies of you, right? Like, say you have OCD and you have to shut your door 5 times before you leave, right? You don't meet someone and go, hi, did you know that I have to lick my palm 5 times before, no, you don't need to share these things. Did you know I have a foot fetish? Do you know no, shut up about everything.
Whatever.
And they're literally at the airport, too.
I know, the first time they met.
I also have opinions about his whole, I can't, anyway. I would never that. He's too marsupial for me.
Yeah, it's a bit much. It's a bit weird. And it's also strange because he lives a nomad life. And so him going there and meeting her, I think she's kind of feeling like, oh, this is a big thing, and yay, he's here to see me. And it's kind of like, no, this is how he lives. He lives out of that bag.
Yeah, and it sucks because
this is what he does.
I hate to make these like generalities about gender, but there is a definite, one gender thinks one way and one another often when it comes to like relationships and how they perceive the other person's behavior. And women have this horrible habit of being so selective. Like they will literally take 2% of something that a man is doing and then hold on to that and completely choose to fucking ignore the other 98%. Like she knows everything. We just said she knows everything. And yet we are literally going to watch an entire season of her act as though it's surprising. She doesn't know what to do with it. She's going to be like, I haven't figured this out. I'm still processing. All of this should have been done.
Yeah.
But she's under that assumption that everything's going to change. And like you said, she's forgotten about the fact that he probably said to her, I'm fucking a girl in London. And she's going to forget about it.
That's what I'm saying. He literally did a donation before he got there. That's what was.
Oh my God. And the setting up of, but this is what I'm doing and I'm setting this up and the camera crew was there. Can you imagine being the camera crew? Because that's like, I know that they've been in some odd situations, but that is some really interesting shit.
Yes,
and with all the pillow,
weird.
Like I can't with him. I cannot. You know what
weird.
bothered me was that he said I don't know why this thing stuck out, but fuck it did. He says so he's putting down the pillows and he says he's explaining it and then he goes, and then we get naked and we do it. And I don't know why, but the first thing I thought, and I sat there, was, why do you have to get naked? Take off your stick it in. I'm not getting naked. You don't need to see my titties and touch me. We don't need to kiss. We can do full Pretty Woman. Like I'm gonna go ahead, especially if I'm a lesbian or something. If you've somehow convinced me, because I'm a moron, that this is the only way for me to get pregnant because a turkey baster and me and my wife on the bed is not just as good, because I think it is. Okay, but I don't need to get naked. We don't need to actually we don't need to make love. Like just jerk it. And I'm just saying, I don't understand why all of a sudden we got to get naked and it's got to be this thing.
Cause he's doing something weird.
Mm-hmm. I was waiting for him to and I light this candle and I play some Barry White.
Yeah, no.
All right, so I mean that's all I got for them.
Yep, and then we got Sean and Aaliyah.
I'm going to let you take the lead on that one.
Why?
Because it's a sensitive conversation. I have strong opinions about it. I know that in my notes, it says Sean, 61 hairstylist. And then 2 sentences later, and then it says, what happened to Douglas? And then I put in all caps, she's a woman. That's what happened to Douglas.
Yes.
And I think I
think it's funny.
Had opinions about. I know other gay men. Like I have friends that only date. They're strictly gay. They only date men. And yet, every time you ask them about their sexuality, the first thing that comes out their mouth is, I'm also attracted to women. I don't know what bullshit and why that's necessary, but he did it too. And then in the same kind of breath, he said, and I quote, I know I can marry Douglas, but I don't think I can marry Aaliyah. Well, then, baby, honey, not only are you gay and very gay, but you're also not even seeing the soul of the person that you're with. But see, again. Well,
that's what I'm trying to say is I think we're on, who knows? That's where I'm at with that.
That's what's interesting
about this couple is because we're at the beginning of beginning or the end of a relationship. This could because Douglas is now Aaliyah.
Douglas is Aaliyah.
That's obvious.
Yeah.
And Sean doesn't know. John liked Douglas, obviously. But if Sean likes women and or like you're saying, likes the soul of who Aaliyah is, then it's not really going to matter. Because I know I have some friends that are like that were dating and they were first 2 gay men and now one's a woman. And there was a lot of drama, but they're still together.
I know. I have what started as a heterosexual couple, and they had a child, and then the husband is now they're 2 women. That's
what I'm saying. So I don't know. We could either see Sean be like, "I'm totally gay," or I'm not really into
what he
Aaliyah.
Said
I agree with you
multiple times.
Right.
And
well,
it
that's
was
what I mean, because
very
he said it.
hypocritical.
I think it's because he has to deal with it.
Okay.
He has to deal with it. That's why I think it's interesting, because we're going to watch someone dealing with it on TV. It was just interesting.
Yeah, I guess maybe I'm naive and I was hoping more for him and his evolution of thought. He said some things and the way he was speaking I wasn't expecting it, because I made assumptions that as a gay older man, he might know some things. And every time he said,
Yeah,
I'm
but you
afraid
can't say
Douglas
that.
is gone. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Right, because you don't know what conversations they're having.
Yeah.
Sure, Aaliyah is like,
I
I'm
just
Aaliyah, this
feel
is who I
bad for
am.
Aaliyah.
But on the phone, Aaliyah could be feeling bad and knowing that Sean is like not liking it, so she could just not be saying anything. Because Aaliyah said, oh, I'm going to dress up as Aaliyah when I meet you, and then whatever. If that's part of the conversation, then Aaliyah has yet to tell him,
Yeah.
this is who I am. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're on this journey. I feel like we're about to see him find out.
I guess, you know what it is? I'm already emotionally protective of Aaliyah. Like, I've already kicked in. Full on.
Right.
Don't hurt her. Don't be stupid. Don't say stupid things. And don't, you know what I mean? Like, I hope it goes well either way.
Yeah, me too. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah. It'll be interesting because, he like, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, he says he has to kill Douglas. And that's what I'm saying. If he really loves this person, it might be his little journey to discover that Douglas, quote unquote, was not dead.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe it reminded me of a conversation that I had with someone in real life in that they were using that type of language. And she kept saying that I just don't know how I'm going to deal with Jane when I know Joe. And I just remember saying to her, but it's still Joe. I was just so confused by that way of thinking. So
Right.
to see him come so assertively with that way of thinking.
But that's what I mean is because he could be thinking, that's what I'm saying, it's the journey. He could go one
Yeah.
way and go like, I like the person, or it could be like, actually, I'm attracted to masculinity, which you were trying to get rid of, and then it may not work out.
So from Love in Paradise to War on the Beach, we are back to Survivor, episode 9, 17 out of 29 days. And Q tried to blow up the game, and for some reason, no one voted him off, if we all recall. I started the episode already salty because I still didn't understand why he was still there and Tevin was gone. So basically, I was just looking for Q to get his ass chewed on the beach. That's really how I started the whole episode.
And that's kind of how it sort of started.
Yeah, like not as drama as I expected. Like I really expected the whole tribe to kind of eat him alive, but it was more like, hey, Tiffany kind of chewing his ass a little bit.
No, it was proof of what I was saying is that he actually runs that place. Because they were like, oh my God, that's so horrible. Can't you do that? And they were just like, you were going to blow me up. And I have a note somewhere here where, yeah, Liz cries, Q stole my thunder and I'm going to come for her. And then someone else was like, oh, if Q didn't do that, now I'm going to be forced to use it. And all these things. And it was like, so vote. Like,
I know, but you just
why are
mentioned
you
it.
holding on to him?
You just mentioned it. I just have to say, Liz is a special character, isn't she? I mean, she started the season just fully egomaniacal. Even with all the shit, that bitch literally is crying because she was expecting to get credit for a move and she didn't get credit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, she is a weird character study. That's all. She's just interesting. I'm with you in that I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. And Kenzie's like, I'm not speaking to you. Okay.
The whole
meaningless.
thing. I don't understand why they're holding on to him.
No.
And Hunter dumps Liz, Q, and Tevin's gone. So Hunter's basically by himself.
Right. Like a little scared rabbit.
Which is kind of lame.
Yeah.
And then I got to basically the what is it, the challenge.
The 3 tribes.
And how Jeff is butthurt. All that I got out of that is that Jeff was butthurt that they did rock, paper, scissors. The whole segment was about Jeff Probst. And I'm glad that he was there and that happened because that's proof of like how some producers would get so butthurt that people are like, it's a game. No, they want you to be like, life or death. Because he was like, we'll see. You'll be the first ones out. And then they weren't the first ones out. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm trying to.
It was like Venus, Q, and someone else. They were kind of like, Venus was like, well, I was like, I don't care what team I got on. And that pissed Jeff off.
Shit.
And then Liz.
Oh my gosh, you're right. The fact that.
And Liz was like, oh yeah, well, and he was like, this is a 1 in 5 chance of winning. And oh my God. And I was like, it's not life or death, you fucking
Okay, so wait.
producer.
Okay, so yeah, when he was like, it's going to be 3 teams of 3. And then they were all like, well, that just kind of worked out. And it was just like seamless and it really happened quickly. He was highly disappointed because, again, I feel like this cast is somehow robbing them of drama moments. And it's almost like, well, take a note. You guys have overproduced the fuck out of this season.
Yeah.
It's literally just overproduced. It's too much.
I mean, kind of like whatever. And then did you see Hunter's legs?
No.
They got a close up of his legs.
Oh.
It was like, they were like eaten up.
Yeah, there are moments of the show where it's like, it's right up there with like Naked and Afraid, where these motherfuckers like 15, 20 years later are like, look at all the scars I still have from that time I was on that TV show.
And then Charlie wins.
Yeah, another challenge in which the women kind of did not perform
Yeah.
the way that we might have expected them to. But
Yeah.
Charlie wins, and that was surprising. I'll be honest. Damn it, Hunter.
Me too. I was surprised.
Not that it would have mattered because we already know what Hunter does with his idols. Not to play them.
Well, that's what we now know. Yeah. I thought it was dangerous though that they were like when they were like, well, we're gonna pretend, and they told Hunter, we're gonna pretend it's you, but we're gonna vote for someone else. And I was like, oh, that's an immediate bad idea, Hunter.
No.
And he went along with all that craziness.
He knew it too. He knew it. It's kind of like
He didn't know it.
No, Hunter. He was terrified.
Like he
kept
knew it, but he
No, at the last
didn't.
minute he didn't. But I'm saying
Right.
he knew. You know what I mean? He could. I think he
Right.
could feel it. He just didn't listen to his gut. It's just like on Big Brother, which I know you don't watch, but Big Brother often they'll have someone they call a pawn. So they'll nominate 3 people, and often there's that third person that they'll say, "Well, you're just a pawn." And the
right.
third person,
That's what they're doing to him.
right? The third person is usually like a fan, and they already know. There's a phrase in Big Brother that says "Pawns go home." Yeah, that's a line that they use also when they want to blindside you. Oh, you're just.
Yeah. That's why I was like, why is he not ready for this?
He should have. He had his hand in his pocket. He believed Kenzie. And then did you notice when they were reading out the names, he kept looking around and no one would even look at him
Is
in the
that tribal
face.
council?
I mean, what did I say?
That tribal council?
Yeah.
No, nothing. I was just segueing
Oh,
in
sorry,
tribal
yeah.
council. But the problem is that before tribal council, who has apparently, we've now learned, a horrible social game, went around and told everybody.
I know. Well, okay, so I
I have an idol.
originally...
So,
This is what I thought. Tiffany started talking about how she wanted to get rid of her idol. And I actually
Right.
wrote down, is this a bluff? Is she telling everyone this because they know she's going to pull it out? Then I thought, okay, well, did Hunter kind of catch wind of that and think, oh, that's smart. I'm going to do that too. No.
no, he was stupid. No. Yeah, no. He thought that he was playing the game.
Yeah, well, he kind of did what I didn't expect of him.
And then
which
he
kind
was
of
like, I'm going to
scampered.
flush the idol. So he should have flushed the idol, and then he did not use it. Do you know what I mean? You use it, and then the vote goes down.
Well,
which means
also-
Q would have been the person, but he didn't.
Yeah, it's kind of known that once
it.
people know that you have an idol, they're going to actively try to flush it out, and that's what Tiffany was kind of talking to.
Yeah.
So, Hunter, if you A, are paranoid that your name is on the block, and B, they know you have an idol, well, then just play it. It's already dead.
Yeah, which he did not do in the end. So he doesn't play the idol, and it ties between him and Hunter.
Let's talk about Jeff
I mean,
Probst
Q and
showing
Hunter.
up with popcorn in front of
With
people that are
popcorn.
starving. What an asshole.
At least he shared it.
I know, but sometimes he thinks he's really being cute, and it's like, actually, no, you're not being cute because there's a realness to that game, and I always think about the real factor. Like these people are hungry.
But these producers are so disconnected.
It's getting very Hunger Games out there.
Yeah, like they're sitting in their little camp eating whenever they want to and smoking when and whatever they want to. At
Oh
this
gosh,
point.
I
And
can't
they're
even
just like,
imagine. Yeah, and then what happens again?
yeah.
And I
And
literally
Q
wrote,
survives.
who the fuck is still voting for Hunter? Because as Jeff was reading the names, why is Q doing this a second time? Why is no one voting him out?
Yeah, he's the bananas of the cast, girl. He's like prepped to win and no one votes for him. He even says, vote me off, and no one votes for him.
I know, and I just wanted to say this is now my perspective of it. Q had made some like comment about how he's always talking about how he wants to run the game, blip blip blip. But he had specifically spoken to a lot of these people they all play this traditional game, and let's take the GOAT, meaning they want to take an easy with them to the end, play that right. He wants to do what the other big boys say they play, which is like, I want to take the best of the best and know that I won the best. But the irony of him making that statement earlier is that he is the GOAT. He's so far now, like he's so not the leader that everyone now is literally, that's why I think he's around. At this point, I think that people are keeping him around because they know that no one likes him. No one's ever going to vote for him, like to win.
Right.
He's completely crossed over to the other side. And so now why wouldn't you want to keep him around? He's no threat. He's never going to win.
Maybe. I feel like they just made little relationships with him and they're just like holding on to him for some reason.
No, I think that he's a GOAT now. I think
Maybe.
definitely with Kenzie. That's what she's seeing. She's like, fuck him. He's over there.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take him all the way.
That's Liz too.
Because no one
That's
likes
Liz
him.
too. Well, Liz wants to get rid of him, I think.
Well, Liz is an egomaniac. Liz wants being the best Survivor player of all time. Liz is very like the female version of Johnny Fairplay. Like totally mediocre, but really thinks that she's just amazing.
Slaying the game?
Yeah.
That's Venus too, though. Venus thinks she's doing it.
Venus really is. Venus is very like cat-like though. I could see Venus. Venus is like literally like, yeah, like, oh yeah, I'm so awesome. You know what I mean? Like just giving herself little pats in bed at night. So I mean that's
Anyway, so yeah,
that's where we're
Survivor.
at. We are heading back to paradise with 90 Day Fiance Love in Paradise, episode 2. Do we get to meet Alex and Adriano? Will Kyle's huge penis persuade Annie to allow his sperm donation to continue? Will Sean accept Aaliyah for who she is? So many questions. Stay.
Oh, so many questions. And we'll be continuing with episode 10 of Survivor. The game is getting a little wacky, I guess. Jeff is bringing pillows for his old ass and popcorn to tribal council. And Q has asked to be voted out twice now. And twice they've decided to keep him. Fucking Johnny Bananas of this cast, I'm telling you. We have no idea what's coming next, and we're pretty sure the survivors don't know what they're doing either. So tune in next week.
It's so true.
It's like the mediocre is floating to the middle.
Oh my God. What do they say? The shit floats to the top. You can reach out to us via our website and let us know what you want us to talk about, or if you have any opinions about what we're already talking about. At sorry, we're late, we didn't want to be here.com, or we didn't want to, the number 2, be here.com. I'm Violet.
And I'm Acid Betty.
And as we always say, American.
Michael, I'm American.
American.
Bless me, American. Bye.
Bye.